You're Spurt back with another video, and I just got done watching Doom Patrol Season 3, Episode 5, and this season just keeps getting trippier and trippier. There's more questions that I'm sure we're going to get answers to by the end of this season. Maybe we're getting a lot of Season 4 build up. This episode is kind of diving into what the Sisterhood of Dada is and whatnot. Before we get into that, before we get into this review, hit that like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at perpminder420. That being all said, let's get right into it. So the episode starts off pretty interesting because we get a scene of Kay talking to Professor Harris, and then we start to get into this interesting discussion of Kay wanting to come up out of the underground, and that'll be the first time in a while. And I'm wondering, what effect is that going to have? Like, what are the personalities really planning? Because they really don't seem to trust Jane, and they really explore a lot of different things with Jane throughout this whole entire series, and I feel like she hasn't really reached her true potential of what she could possibly really do. And I really like that whole theme with this whole entire episode. But before we get into all that, let's go over to Cliff, because, he's got himself some new meds throughout this whole entire episode. He's just high off his ass, and it's hilarious. Brendan Fraser is an amazing actor, man. Even though he's not in the suit, it makes you believe that is him playing all that out. It's really dope how they brought his character to life and stuff. I'm really digging that. But throughout this whole episode, he's kind of high because he's got that stuff going on with him. I guess it's like Parkinson's, which I don't know how robots get Parkinson's. I guess it has something to do with his brain. I'm curious to see when he's going to get a new body, because I feel like that's coming probably towards the end of the season. I don't know, or he's going to stay in that body for the rest of the series. I don't know. Then we get a scene with Cyborg and Silas kind of talking, and Silas is kind of falling back from being so overbearing on Cyborg, like always keeping him in check. He even goes against what he believes in. Probably is going to have some ramifications, I don't know. But it's dope because now Cyborg is free to kind of do whatever, even though he let a criminal go. I'm pretty sure that those two are going to cross paths again somewhere down the line. And also, Cyborg's another character that's interesting, that we kind of dive into his psyche and just him trying to figure out exactly who he is. And that's the theme of this whole entire episode, is just like, who are these characters, like, personally? Like, who are they really, besides just Cyborg, or just Cliff, or Crazy Jane? So we get more information on the Sisterhood of Dada with this character Laura, aka Madame Rogue, which I'm curious to see how they're going to reveal her character, or if her character's ever going to remember exactly who she is. Because if you remember, Niles said, like, yo, you're deceptive, you're a bad person. But for some odd reason, she cannot remember any of this from time traveling. There's something going on between her and Rita. Rita's kind of not acting like herself, which, do you guys think they swap bodies or something like that? Or Madame Rogue's kind of playing dumb to kind of get Rita out of the way? Because you remember the Brotherhood of Evil were looking for Rita, so maybe this is all her master plan. I don't know. So Laura tells everybody, like, yo, you need to infiltrate the Sisterhood of Dada and find out what this eternal flatulence is. And it's a very complicated thing I'm not going to explain in this video. If you know, you know. It's weird. It's really complicated. It's a really complicated answer, I would say that. She also wants the Doom Patrol to kill them. And you already know that they're kind of lazy. They don't want to really do anything. before they take off and whatnot, before that whole meeting came about, Larry's also going through some weird stuff. Like, he's got this thing moving around in his head. At the end of the episode, you see it glow blue. So it's like, is that a new negative spirit being reborn into Larry? I don't know. That's really weird. I don't even want to go there with that conversation, but let me know what your thoughts on the whole situation with Larry and what's going on with him, because apparently he's not dying and he was just throwing up, which I'm having some weird thoughts about that, but it makes sense for Doom Patrol because it's already wacky, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say like he's about to give birth or something like that to a new negative spirit. That sounds really weird, but I don't know. So the Doom Patrol heads off to pretty much find the Sisterhood of Dada, while Rita and Laura kind of stay back and they're drinking, having girl time, because they're really relatable with one another. Or at least Rita feels like Laura is good people. She connects with her. Nobody else really likes her. You know what I'm saying? The Doom Patrol ends up landing into this like foggy area. No pun, well, all pun intended. Jane tells Larry to fall back because you're pretty much useless without the negative spirit. Watch the bus. That was funny. Cliff is high off his ass. He just goes running into the woods. Cyborg goes off to do his own thing. Jane also. They all pretty much get split up. But what's fascinating is where Jane ends up. We get introduced to this new character named the Fog, or I forget her actual real name, but her ability is very similar to how Jane's works. But she's pretty OP because she's able to separate Jane and Kay from the rest of the underground and stuff in her own little head. And that's where everybody is. Where Cyborg is, he comes confronted with a person that's kind of like him, but I feel like it's a more of a self-reflection. I think that's what they were going for with his scene. Cliff was just goofy because he was high. He came across this chick that's in this like glass box, and I'm guessing she has a thing with germs. She speaks Japanese. Cliff ends up speaking Japanese. But what was interesting about the whole Jane scene and how this Fog was talking to her and saying like, you know, you don't need the underground. And it makes you think like, is the Fog trying to just manipulate Jane into separating from the underground? Because the underground wants to get Kay out of there, but they're able to be blocked out by this Fog. It's really trippy. And they all start to ask the same question to everybody. Like, who are you? The Fog asks Jane exactly like, who are you? Who are you really deep down inside? You will never be able to be yourself unless you know yourself. And it's really deep. And I think it's just to manipulate everybody. Similar to, you know, Mr. Nobody, how he's able to get into people's minds and mess with their desires and stuff like that. And anyways, but what kind of breaks all this up is Cliff mentioning Laura's name. And I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, what is the real big plan that the Brotherhood of Evil really wanted to get Rita off the board? And just I'm just really curious to see how this all kind of ties together. So Larry and everybody is able to kind of wake back up from being in Fog's mind. Oddly enough, Larry's son's there. I'm pretty sure that's his son. And he's kind of in bad shape. And I feel like this all has something to do with the ant farm. Maybe, I don't know, man. It's just really fascinating, the direction that they're going with this story, because we don't exactly know what to expect or where this is heading, because I don't know the source material like that. So people that know the source material probably know where they're going, or if this is completely original, I don't know. I find it really dope. Rita also ends up hopping in the time machine, fixing the time machine because she broke something off of it, going back into time. I'm wondering what exactly what she's going to find going back in time. Is this going to be Madame Rogue's idea or her plan this whole time to kind of break up the Doom Patrol and infiltrate that way? I don't know. It's really dope. I can't wait to see the rest of this series play out, because I definitely think we're going to get answers and a lot of things left open for a season 4. Let me know how you guys feel about this episode in the comments below. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.